So today I want to talk about the effects of pregnancy on women, And before you run off and say, oh, this video doesn't concern me, it concerns everyone. It's either you're a woman and you experience some of these things and you don't even know that it's as a result of pregnancy, or you see other women going through it and you're not so empathetic because you don't get it. Well, let's educate ourselves today, even for the men, right? It's either you are supporting a woman who is going through some of these body changes and experiencing some of these things I'm about to talk about, or you're going to eventually support a woman who would go through some of these things. So I think it's important. Information is power, right? And it helps us to be more empathetic and know how to support people around us that might be going through some of these things. So pregnancy is not really a sickness, but there are some side effects that come after pregnancy. And one of the side effects is postpartum depression. This comes right after pregnancy, and you see women saying they can't even stand their children, or some very extreme stories that you hear about how women react post-pregnancy. And this thing is real. It's important that we seek help for ourselves or for the women that go through some of these things. Some of it is also pain while laughing. You hear women talking about how their body changes so much that their bladder control is really gone, right? And so there's some exercises you can do to work on that. Again, speak to a professional if you need support on bladder control. There are other things that happen to the skin, like skin elasticity, stretch marks, and different changes that women never expected. Some women would, during pregnancy, would look at their bodies and say, "Oh, I'm so glad I have no stretch marks," and then right after pregnancy, they are like, "What's going on here?" That happened to a couple of people I know, and there are ways to manage it, but then again, it's good to know, right, that you're not alone. There's also things that happen to our immune system and how our immune system just becomes low. We just find it hard. We start getting sick more often. Our system is not able to fight, diseases and sicknesses like it used to. Well, now you know why. Hair loss. Well, some people, I think this is quite common, where people know that they had a lot of hair before pregnancy, and then after pregnancy it's like they lost it all. Your shoe size changing, most times you're gonna change maybe to a size bigger or something like that, just because of again, you did a good thing, by the way. You brought a child into the world, but then you're gonna get an extra size in your shoe, and that's normal if you've been gone through pregnancy, so don't be worried about it. Okay. Weight gain, body changes, metabolism, indigestion, reflux. For me now, I know that if there are certain foods I can't eat after 6 p.m. because if I eat them, I'm going to just I can forget about sleeping till about 4 a.m. because of the reflux and just how uncomfortable I'm going to be feeling. Back pain, this is common. Back pain is really common, and you can go for a massage, see if it's your therapist, if it's really bad and extreme. Mommy brain, that's also an interesting one, where we forget things. Some people think that it only happens in pregnancy, and after pregnancy everything gets back to normal, but it does happen to people after pregnancy that they forget things. And so you might see people, every time they're having a conversation, they're trying to note things down. Don't judge them. It's because of what I've just told you about. So give them more grace. And again, fatigue, there's so many things that women go through, so many, and I'm sure I've not even exhausted this list. So feel free to comment in my video if there are other things that you felt as a woman after pregnancy that hasn't been mentioned, and how have you managed that. One way to manage these things is exercise. Make sure you're working out. Make sure that you're walking, you're doing some form of exercise. Also, our diet, eating right. And then, of course, there are supplements out there that also just support us with some of the essential vitamins, minerals that our body needs. So make sure you're getting it. But you know, like one of my my colleagues says, she says that if you've popped out kids, you have nothing else to prove to the world because you've brought in a whole human. So mothers, give yourself grace. You've done amazingly well, and don't judge yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. You are doing great.